ROCKALINA, even though she was taken out of the wild, she can never go back. But now she can get a piece of what it would have been like. I'm very proud of how hard she fought after what she went through. This right here is the beginning of her happy ending. Yeah, that's epic. Oh, there's one.
Where?
Right there. Got a female terrapin nesting right around the corner here. Don't want to spook her because in the early stages of them digging their nest, they are easily spooked. The object is to let her complete the nest, cover it, then we could take her, process her, release her safely so she doesn't have to cross a road again, and then we can collect the eggs for artificial incubation. Exciting time of year. They officially kicked off the other day. The northern diamondback terrapin is one of 7 subspecies of diamondback terrapin that occurs in the United States of America, and they're the only endemic species of turtle to the brackish waterways. So this turtle is not found in freshwater, even though it drinks fresh water. It occurs in tidal pools, estuaries, bays, marshes. They play a very important role in the ecosystem, and their hatchlings play a very important role in the ecosystem as hatchlings. So it's important for us to salvage the eggs so that we can successfully incubate and hatch them and then release the babies into the marsh as hatchlings so that they can imprint on the environment and just play that vital role from stage 1 all the way into adulthood. The females, unfortunately, have to cross these treacherous, busy shore town roadways every single June, and so many of them lose their lives to vehicles. That's what we're here for. We're here to try to keep this population stable by intervening in a safe way, in a positive way, by pit tagging or microchipping each and every female, and that gives them an internal permanent identification number so that we can keep track on them every time we come across them again. All right, well, this happens pretty often. She actually gave up on her nest because she wants to find a better site. This, believe it or not, is a parking spot for a very popular restaurant right here. So it's extra dangerous because you would think that people only hit these animals when they're speeding, but they actually accidentally run them over when they're parked. They never would suspect that a turtle would be right behind the wheel of their car, so they get in it after they have a nice meal and then they accidentally crush them. So I'm actually happy that she's not gonna try here. She probably hit some rocks because this is very heavy with driveway stone. So we'll process her, and then what we'll do is we'll move her to a sandier road away from vehicles so that she can hopefully nest over there. So there's our little bale of nesting diamondback terrapins for today, but there's probably gonna be more throughout the day, and of course the season is only just started. But this is what we do. Casey and I constantly play watch on these locations. We are permitted to do this, and we are expected to keep as close of an eye on these animals as we can so that we can help them out during such a sensitive time for them. I'm excited for it. It's great to see some of our repeats. It means that our work is continuing and that the turtles are surviving. But now we got to get back to GST because it's time to get back to work on ROCKALINA and Otis's brand new enclosures. Forgot my bin. Okay, so I have completed the framework for ROCKALINA and Otis's neighboring enclosures. Basically, it's one enclosure, split right in half. That's necessary, and I'll show you why later. I actually started with making an elevated area, and the way I did that was when I first put in the first plant, which was a decent sized grass, I just used what I excavated and moved it over to make an elevated area for her, because any turtle or tortoise shouldn't just have flat ground. They should have an area to explore, whether it means going up or down, because nothing is perfectly flat in nature, even a forest floor. So I also situated an old stump, or part of a stump, into this. And then I took moss that I also excavated and planted that around it. That moss will come back greener and better as it rains. And then we planted this back here, which is a creeping kind of plant that'll offer an area for her to root into. She can get shade in there. She can also poke her little head out. Box turtles love to hide in vegetation, and they like to look out through it because they feel secure, but they can see around. They can kind of survey the area looking for a predator or prey. In addition to that, I started laying out the other side of the enclosure, and now I think I have a pretty good idea of how I want to do the rest of it. And one other thing I wanted to address before we go any further here, I said that we were putting these enclosures, ROCKALINA and Otis's, inside our giant tortoise enclosure. And why was that an okay idea? Well, these are captive born and bred tortoises that we know are completely healthy. They have plenty of room as it is, they can't even get into contact with Rockkalina and Otis, but it's safer to put them over here than near like our surrendered box turtles and confiscation box turtles that we've received, because those animals, their health could be in question. We don't know exactly what's going on in there, and we have some updates coming on them in a future video, but this is really a great spot for them. And it also offers them both sun and shade, because box turtles should not be in full sun at all times. They'll stress out in it, they'll become dehydrated. Again, we're talking about a forest dwelling species that does move out of the forest into the sun, but only to come right back into it. So this is going to be the best case scenario for them. It's inside the giant tortoise pen, so it's like double security there, double fence lines. They're also going to have cameras on them. There's the electric fence around this whole thing. It's right up against our reptile building, so we have a 24-hour watch on them, not just through cameras, but with ourselves. And of course, we're going to be doing lids on them. So right now, I'm gonna put in this terracotta dish, and it's a nice, shallow water dish for her. I don't want anything too deep out here for her or Otis, even though a lot of our other box turtles that get to live a more natural lifestyle since day one do have ponds or big cement mixing tubs. We're talking about different animals, even though they are the same species. Those animals are either accustomed to a wild life, or because their confiscations originally were in the wild, so they can handle those kinds of things. Rockalina has been through a lot for 50 years. Even though she has shown us that she's ready to come outside, she's nowhere near as strong or as capable as some of these other box turtles. Her nails will never be perfect. She still has something special going on in her back legs, so we want to make sure that she has shallow water, but she absolutely needs it, because I can't say that enough, that box turtles require water in their lives. Yet again, a good spot. That's an earthworm. We all know Rockalina loves earthworms, so now she can hunt for them all on her own in here. So, I'm actually planting some food for her too. This is a strawberry bush. Box turtles are omnivores. We all know how much Rockalina loves strawberries, just like she loves worms. So now she can hunt for worms and she can help herself to some strawberry when it does grow in. And we'll be supplementing her diet on top of all that anyway. But wild strawberry does grow here, and we do live in eastern box turtle habitat. I had two tortoises nesting earlier. So you give them a little while and then you come back to check and see if they're done, and one of them is finishing. Yep. So this Eastern Hermann's tortoise is done. She's patting that down. Once she moves off, I'll get her eggs. And we also had a Greek tortoise nesting over here. And it looks like she's definitely still digging. We got to keep our distance. I'll come back around again. Starting to get really hot now, so whatever nests we get at this part of the day is going to be it until the sun starts to set. We might get some later if it's not too hot still. So I planted ferns. Ferns are a great plant for box turtles because they are found in box turtle habitat. Here in New Jersey, pretty much anywhere in their native range. They love to hide under them because they create shade, and they also allow in dappled sunlight. It's a great place for them to hunt for invertebrates underneath them, and they really just set the stage for creating a natural type box turtle habitat. Half log hides, these are great for a wide variety of reptiles. They're natural looking, and they are similar to what a box turtle would hide in the wild. You can find these at pet stores, and of course you can get them online too. So I'm really kind of making a burrow for her here. It's on an elevated spot, but it will still remain cool for her. So if she doesn't feel like hiding under a plant, she wants a little bit more security, she can go ahead and use this. Now, it's time to get a very important element to a forest floor. This is pitch pine litter and oak leaves. This stuff is the forest floor bed that a box turtle needs. Helps them feel secure because they could burrow into it and stay completely hidden. They also blend in with it because of the browns, yellows, and oranges. And it creates a breeding ground for insects because these turtles are omnivores, and like I said, they are looking for those things to hunt. Okay, this is basically the last piece of decor that I have to add to this enclosure before it's ready for Rockalina. I'm gonna have to water the plants, fill up the water dish. I think she's really gonna love it in here. All right, time to get the eggs. I'm gonna get this Eastern Hermans first. 2 from the Eastern Hermans. Let's see what the eyebrow laid. You could tell this female was in a hurry to get off the nest here because she was probably very hot. That same thing happens in the wild. In fact, it can get so hot that females in the wild have been known to actually die during the nesting process. And the reason I know she was in a hurry is because she did a kind of a botched job of covering it. Usually it's much neater than this. She didn't even pull this dirt over here. But she did safely get out of here and complete. That's what's important. 5 eggs. And this was her second clutch. This particular Ibera Greek laid 7 eggs about 2.5 weeks ago, so she was right on schedule for her second. Get these into artificial incubation, and in about 60, 70 days, along with these Hermann's eggs, we should see babies. Voila! Otis's enclosure is done. It is not unlike Rockalina's. It has a lot of the same elements. Areas to hide. I disguised the water dish. It's got grasses, it's got logs, it's got all the pine and leaf litter, and it is ready, well actually almost ready for a turtle. First what I want to do is soak the heck out of this thing. It'll be good for the plants and of course start building that humidity that box turtles love. Get some water in the water dish. Start making this moss happy. This is gonna be awesome. Here she is. It's time, Rockalina. She has spent the last few months in this indoor toad ranch enclosure, getting to experience somewhat what a forest floor would be like, but this is it. You are finally going to be reunited with the outdoors after nearly 50 years. This right here is the beginning of her happy ending, because her happy ending goes into the future, because every day moving forward, she gets to be more of a turtle than she ever has been. So let's not waste any more time here. Rockalina, welcome home. So this is the ultimate situation for non-releasable animals. Rockalina, even though she was taken out of the wild, she can never go back. But now she can get a piece of what it would have been like. And I'm very proud of this. I'm very proud of how hard she fought after what she went through. And seeing her be able to be a turtle, both in the indoor enclosure, the times that we brought her outside with under supervision, and now here in her actual permanent outdoor enclosure, I can't really describe to you guys how that feels. It's such a sense of accomplishment. It warms my heart. The fact that so many people have rooted for her in this whole story has been amazing. And this is the beginning of her happy ending. She gets to be a box turtle, what she was always meant to be, in our own little version of it here at Garden State Tortoise. And yeah, that's epic. That's really, really epic. She is the ultimate survival story and recovery story. And Casey and I personally want to say thank you to all of you that have rooted for her, that have been paying such close attention to her story, that have just let her have a little place in your heart, because that has helped us get through this too, because it was so touch and go at first. But here she is, she's here to stay. This right here is her future, and her story is not over. Like I said, this is just the beginning of her happy ending. Alrighty, here he is. Mr. Otis, also the Eastern box turtle, who is now going to be Rockalina's neighbor. All right, bud, this is it for you too. into the great outdoors. And of course, not a normal turtle under any circumstances because he's immediately focused on the camera. So there he goes, he's in his permanent outdoor enclosure now, and over the last couple of years, Otis has gotten outdoor time, but we always wanted him to have something that he could call his own, just like ROCKALINA is able to do now, and he's just stomping around in here, of course, paying attention to the camera because he is by no means a normal turtle, but even though he isn't a normal turtle, he still is a box turtle at heart, and by giving him this kind of environment, he can experience all those things that a box turtle should experience. You can only recreate nature indoors to a certain degree, so if you can get an animal outside, it really is going to be beneficial long-term for them. Now, for those of you that are probably wondering, okay, well, they're neighbors, now they're outside, but why can't they live together? Allow me to demonstrate what Otis would do to real ROCKALINA. There you go. Otis does not like other turtles, as I've said many, many times, and this is exactly what he would do to real-life ROCKALINA or any other box turtle or turtle species. So, not a good idea. No ROCKALINA for Otis. But you guys can have your very own ROCKALINA because this plush is still available and it goes until June 23rd. So again, I will put the link in the description to how you can get that, and also I'll post a comment in the comments section of this video. Make sure you grab that limited time offer only until June 23rd. So ROCKALINA and Otis outside now. We've got cameras installed on them. I still have to do the lids, which I will get done. They are fully protected from everything. They are under our watch, and they are one with nature again. And I can't wait to show you guys over time how they're doing in these things, because this is how I love to see it. I grew up with box turtles. They've never not been in my life, and it just so happens that now we have the two most special box turtles in the world, and now we are getting to give them what we've wanted to give them all along.